8888, as I said, that is the Dublin Rape Crisis Centre's number. A lot of messages coming in, just wishing you the very best of luck, Charlene, and I want to thank you as well for joining us here on Lunchtime Live. We'll take a short break.
Lunchtime Live with Andrea Gilligan.
Let me explain.
With the election potentially just days away from being called, did you know that once it is, you will have very little time, as little as 3 or 4 days, to register to vote? So it's really important you do it before that. And on this week's Let Me Explain, we're talking through how to register to vote, who can get a postal vote, and everything you need to do to make sure you have your say in election 2024. Subscribe to Let Me Explain on the News Talk app, powered by Go Loud, or wherever you get your podcasts.
News Talk. Conversation that counts. You'll get more out of your afternoon when you get a quote from SuperValue Insurance, Ireland's soundest insurance provider. Visit supervalue.ie/insurance for more.
Go wild with the Peugeot hybrid and electric range, featuring the new 3008 with an impressive range of up to 700 kilometres, and the all-new 7-seater 5008, built for family adventures. Put a deposit on a 251 Peugeot before December 31st and get a €500 Dunnes Stores gift card and a free 3-year service plan. Take a test drive at your local Peugeot dealer today. Offer valid until December 31st, 2024. Terms and conditions apply. See Peugeot.ie.
Listen, Sky, this Black Friday, I want to spend less and do more. I want to game, stream, and scroll all at the same time. I want to watch every.
In half a while,
Sky.
people love it.
Netflix. I want to.
We hear you. This Sky Black Friday, get 1 gig Sky Broadband, Sky Stream, and Netflix for the lowest ever price of €49 a month. Happy?
Oh, nice.
Search Sky Black Friday. Availability subject to location. New customers only. 12-month minimum term. Stream and broadband sold separately. Terms apply. For more info, see sky.ie/speeds.
Running a business isn't easy, but accessing support should be. The new National Enterprise Hub is the single source for all government support for your business. With over 180 supports in one place, it's easier than ever to find grants, advice, training, and more. And don't worry about not knowing what you need. Our helpful team will guide you every step of the way. Visit neh.gov.ie to learn how we can help. The National Enterprise Hub. Support starts here, an initiative of the Government of Ireland.
The Black Friday sale is now on at Harvey Norman. Get Black Friday discounts on technology today. Save €300 on the HP NVX 360 laptop with touchscreen and Intel Core i7 processor. Perfect for multitasking. Was $1,799, now
Keep left,
$1,499.
then bear left onto Main Street.
Phoenix 7X smartwatch with solar charging and advanced health features. Was $949, now $749. With our best price guarantee. Why shop anywhere else? Don't wait. The Harvey Norman Black Friday.
Agus thug se lán am ar rialtas taxúsa sin scéim seo cégrá sé galta ó nám a bhí Leo Bradker
Hey Siri,
as bhín.
Send Kevin my location.
Sí amach cégraí a chuir siad an lec leis na pandéma maidir le sláinte pobl de chéadal sios brandú Hamas na tithe altranachta compáil amach ará an bailach a chuir siad faoi sin ará sé sin an bailach ceart agus an rá éonrad a nachróg siad ina dhé sin ag brandú ar cé chomá is a bhí an choras sláinte agus cuaram sóisialta ina omláin ag dealáil leis a bandéim nóair a thosaigh sé agus brandú ar na himplachtaí agus an chuí ar chuí an bandéim a bhaim ar chuoiní ar chealaí agus ar phobal ar fud na tíre agus sin cuid tábhailteach den na termí tagra a fáiltiú a réir. Tá sé brandú chumá ar an trealamh agus na héadaí sábháilteacha na PPC mar gléitú arab ará siad san éifeachtach ar chaisiad a nomadarthab ar ordaí siad golóir agus ar ordaí siad beidir a nomad brandú sin chumá mar chostaí siad san na €100 milliún. Agus díag beidir con multi ian vegetarian here hall a charo le kinny as stauki mahorlin pandemella
Starting route to Derry. Head southwest on Churchill Road, then turn right onto Dyan Road.
I mean, Talon Jeremy Tagra, because Tisha Gane, on Tull of Scott, Agus Kolaki, it's a Fragroch, Mother Lashgui, Rocky on Christishaw, Amon Ibra. So, you know, Toscope, Lahangalora, you know, con a real cafe in the end of Module Kerhui, a Maisha Ignivu, Snamshore, a tall road, like an Kena, ta Jeremy Module, Tashitsin, Kungalore.
Keep right.
Down a bit fishin, Nila Blin, Gala Akab, con on Tolis Glare Value, con Skaga, the end of our. In
about 9.5 miles, at the roundabout, take the second exit towards Dungannon.
Is a tall Ramsha, a tall the brand stock on Snapshot a Tyrone.
What about us? So they have opened up this opportunity for people who've worked in the UK, again, not just people from England. And by the way, just importantly to say, when I say worked in the UK, that's including Northern Ireland, which you mightn't automatically think of.
I was just about to ask you that.
Yeah, indeed, and which is fantastic. But normally you can only buy back 3 years. That would be the norm. But this once in a lifetime opportunity, I'm sorry to harp on about that, but it really is when you'll hear it.
But why, yeah, that's what I was going to. Why is it the once in a lifetime?
Because normally you can only buy back 3 years, but this opportunity, you can go back as far as 2006. So therefore, from 06 to 2024, you can buy 18 years in one go. Now, that's for, if you like, backfilling or buying back years of national insurance contributions, or NICs, as I said. Also, you can buy them forward until you hit your age of retirement. Currently in the UK, that's 66.
And to be able to do that, all you have to have done is worked for 3 years at some point in either Romania or in the UK. Anywhere in Northern Ireland,
not necessarily consecutively.
Yeah.
In fact, to be honest with you,
imagine a lot of people must qualify for this.
Oh, absolutely. But I think if you did a survey of most Irish households, they'll either have somebody or know somebody who's worked in the UK at some point, but it doesn't have to be in a row. And in fact, we have even had several clients for whom we've managed to get the UK state pension, and they didn't actually have the full 3 years, but there's technical reasons that I won't get into now.
How much is it likely to be worth to people?
Excellent question, because in fact, the state pension currently, a full UK state pension, is approximately the equivalent in euro terms of 13,500, a little below our own currently. But we're also financial advisors, and we would be used to things like annuities. So what that means is, how much would it cost me to buy a policy from one of the life companies here, whereby I say to them, look, how much would it cost to buy 13,500 euros of income every year from the age of, say, 66, 67? And you're probably talking in a region of 350,000 euros. So it could be for some people for 4, 5 or 6,000 euros of investment now. They may well be able to get that level of UK state pension in the future. It's phenomenal.
How difficult is this process?
I don't want to exaggerate it. There are a number of forms, and a lot of people do find they need help.
Yeah.
There are a number of forms. Some have to go to HMRC, His Majesty's Revenue and Customs, like our revenue, and others go to the Pension Centre. So, however, while the forms themselves may not look overly challenging, there are specific ways you need to complete them and submit them, and they're very fussy around certain items and how you present the information, including dates of employment.
Peter, a couple of listener questions, if you don't mind, on this, right? It's 087 1400 106. Frank says he used to live in the Isle of Man in the 80s and 90s for about 5 years. Does he have the same pension backfilling as the UK?
Yeah, so effectively, once he has a NICS record, and that's easily sought to find out whether you do or not, and there's no cost in availing of that. that will determine whether or not he's eligible, because it will state whether he has 3 or more years, and it'll state how many years in fact he has in total. And what's important to note overall, not just that question, Andrea, is that to avail of any sort of UK state pension when you reach retirement, you must have a minimum total of at least 10 years. So in other words, let's say I had 3 years and I only bought back 3 or 4 years. That wouldn't get me over that 10-year hump.
You have to meet the 10.
You have to meet, but that doesn't have to be, that doesn't have to be met until you are retiring.
Yeah. Okay.
So back years or future years.
So Frank, you should check that out and check out the next thing.
Yeah, you can send us an email, we'll help them.
Can you ask the gentleman, is there a chance a UK pension might become means tested in the future? I don't know if you have the answer to that.
64 million, I'd say a political question on that one, we can't see it.
Worked in the UK, this listener worked for a UK company for 12 months. Would I be entitled to anything? I did pay tax in the UK for that year.
I suspect the answer is probably yes.
Sounds like they lived in Ireland or somewhere else though, doesn't it?
Yeah, it can be. We have had clients who have had that type of arrangement, or a mix of arrangements where they've worked here or there, but if they have paid NICs in the UK, again it comes back to that, check the NICs record. That's the first
Can you check the NICs record yourself?
You can. You go through a process. You can log on to gov.uk/state pension, and there is a process there. It's very long.
Yeah, but you can do it if someone's listening.
You can do it, yeah, absolutely. Okay. Yes, of course.
Finally, this listener says, can you please tell me, if you're not working in Ireland, can you still buy back the stamps to qualify for the UK pension? I'm currently on a widow's pension.
That's a really good question and very pertinent. There are 2 points that can preclude somebody or may change the price, because we should talk about the price at which you can buy back these years. One is, did you work right up till, then doesn't mean the day before you left the UK, but more or less, did you work up to that day? And also, when you left the UK, did you work in another country with a reciprocal arrangement? Typically EEA countries, so it's EU, Liechtenstein, Switzerland, Norway. So that is very relevant. So the answer to the question is that it may be that you can't buy back all of the years. You may be able to buy back some, or that you can buy back all of the years, but it might be at the class 3 rate. Could I mention a little bit about class 2, class 3?
Just very briefly.
Okay. Class 2 is typically around £170 to buy 1 year. So it costs very, very little. Okay. Class 3 category is much more expensive. It's about 820
so
euros
that's the difference,
year.
yeah.
Big difference.
People need to suss that out.
Yeah.
Peter, listen, very, very informative, and I have no doubt from the little messages coming in here, seems to impact a lot of our listeners out there today. That's Peter McElroy from myukpension.ie. Thanks a million, Peter, for joining us on Lunchtime Live. The Home Squad, they'll be in next to advise you on how to incorporate autumnal interiors to your home.
Lunchtime Live with Andrea Gilligan.
Do you need to get smart with your spending so you can do more with your money?
Sounds like a lot of work.
Not with OnPost Money Manager, the smart budgeting app that does the work for you. Securely link all your current accounts and credit cards and see all your spending in one place.
What if I'm running low on cash?
You'll get a heads up with spending and budget alerts.
Sounds expensive.
Not at all. It's free to use whoever you bank with.
Say no more. I'm going to download the app now.
Make your money matter more. Search OnPost Money Manager. Money Manager is provided by OnPost in conjunction with Tink. Tink is a payment institution authorised by the Swedish Financial Supervisory Authority to provide account information services.
People are finally talking about mental health. Talking really helps, and a friend who listens is a gift. Sometimes it's even more helpful to talk to a trained therapist, and you deserve to take time each week to focus on yourself. BetterHelp Online Therapy has helped more than 4 million people take better care of themselves. Rated excellent on Trustpilot, they offer video, phone, and even live chat sessions. Get
agus be follower of atá toki dóibh be sé go an tafad ifgiel ag an ifig sin Kildan a runny. Tá sé de gully Yanni Siller de géni insan orsa nar cór dóibh a bheith I go sa tór rolas atá winch go casana nach bhfuil íon winch acu leo agus bhí molly eile ag sean the tríd ón ombudsman agus ag ra gur cór Beidir cinneal sampláil a dhéanú ar íseoin eile in Caledon an PSNI le fáil amach an bhfuil an rud céarna ag tarlaí. Now, níl an PSNI a go le dhéanú sin ag deir siad go bhfuil siad a dhéanú rud mar sin hana. An chéist is mó atá an Beidir an bhfuil sé seo ag tarlaú níos for leachnean agus an bhfuil sé ag tarlaú fórsaí eile pólaíneach de Beidir ní is agam mar Harbi ag Beidir gur cóir de orsaí a le an gardaí cána in a máscaí dhéanú just cinneal ag tastáil dhéanú le fáil amach an bhfuil an cinneal rud seo ag go ará. Na John is German tá ré nuaán tá físeoin ar fáil agus is inted first iad a scapu ar na main hóisiil de go bhaid so hiag le tragáid ag an a bheith an marhealar ó mí opar mar seo.
Mí úsáid a bhain testop. Íon camitá golann sin ach tá mar buíoch an trachtar a polúil on Malcolm a caiinslemuin sin. Trebad nach ceú go dóinis dat tú géisteach leis a gláir nuíocht a hían. Cuidiú tú sa Spáin inneo le trí lá dohráin an úmós na líine a bhásas na tiltse a neisir na tíre. Chúg chuna dhéag agus chéad a fichiid ar a laid a caiiliú de bhhar na dilse nuair a hit díal blian na báistí tíbiste go 8 chlaig a réigen Valencia. Tá eibrithe tárala ag cuairtú daine a tá fós a réra agus tá fular a bheimsire fós a bhaim ag gúidhhaig an sír. Tá síle ní bhréanain as cantar intarhain seo ag an mara ina cúnaí i Meige agus láir meilethe sal neachmuid ar an éir. Bhí tilse i Meige freisin cé nach ra cuasaí chodonna in sin agus a bhí a réigen Valencia mar a bhíine síle héinchom níos túisce.
No, bhí tilse a tháinig boiste chutrom, tháinig seach a scipaí agus bhí se chutrom chumá le táirteach túnseach. Má ná tá muid an áit muid ar a ggósta.
There isn't leaning on gate. And it's up there, it's number 2 or 3 every week, I see.
Yeah, no, it's great,
yeah. Okay, Seamus, okay. You want to recount a real life event involving the stray sods. Cue eerie music.
Well, first of all, I'm not one of these gatherers of scary stories, and we're all fairly realistic and lead some otherwise we wouldn't stay, but there was a couple of neighbours of ours over the road. There were brother and sister Michael May and Michael Quinn, and May was she had the look of a witch when we were kids, big bushy hair, and they were kind of odd, but everyone was odd at the time. But May was quite bossy, and she had Michael, she had given him all sorts of rules, and there was always talk that Michael didn't always adhere to these rules, but it was also around this time of the year, and I'm not saying exactly on Halloween, but at this time of the year when the evenings start getting short, and of course the big curse in rural Ireland, but especially back then, was the darkness, because we only had a 40-watt bulb in the kitchen and a 60-watt bulb for an outside light. It's not like nowadays where they light up, everyone's house is lit up like an airport, but the story is, and this is the real story, May had to go to hospital, and Michael was at home, and he went out to look at cattle, and he stepped on a stray sod. Now, I'm not into all that, but first of all, the reality of it is that Michael Quinn went missing because his cows were roaring in the morning and hadn't been
hang on, Seamus, what's a stray sod?
Well, a stray sod is supposed to be, if you go into a field and it says step on a stray sod, it means that you have been more or less hypnotized by the fairies and you can't get out of that field. They have you trapped. And the only antidote, and this is why we know he stepped on that stray sod, the way of getting out of this, or the old tale was that you turn your coat inside out. Okay. And anyway, we as neighbours for 3 days were looking for Michael Quinn. He couldn't be found anywhere. His sister May was in hospital,